Alcoholism and Addiction Recovery, Volume 2. Your path to recovery is still simple, but it's not easy. Written by Robert C. Hickle, M.A. Edited and updated by Thomas H. Shear, Ph.D. Narrated by Frank Gerard. A Pearl of Great Price. Preface. There is no doubt that the pearl of sobriety has a great price, whether one uses the word price in the sense of cost or of value. Usually, alcoholics have paid an immense price by the time the pearl is bought, and they go on their way rejoicing. No one can estimate the value of the pearl of sobriety except alcoholics and their loved ones. Cost or value, the pearl of sobriety has a great price. A program about living, not about drinking. Sometimes the greatest truths are the simplest ones and the hardest to see. After sitting through an exceptionally good AA meeting one night, the thought came to me that the speakers were all talking about living and not about drinking or not drinking. As I sat there, I let my mind drift back through the years to the best AA meetings I could remember. What had impressed me most? What I remembered as best were not the drunkalogues nor the tales of sleepless nights and marital fights, but the simple, low-key statements about living. People talk about how nice it is to be home on Christmas Eve and how sick they were on Christmas morning. They are stories about being restored to the church of one's childhood, about broken plumbing and cars that would not start, stories about living. I let my eyes stray to the omnipresent 12 steps, one mention of alcohol and one of alcoholics. Taken as a whole, it is a program for living. There is nothing at all about how to drink or how not to drink. In a moment of revelation, I saw the program of Alcoholics Anonymous as a way to live. Not a way for alcoholics to live, nor for the spouse of the alcoholic to live, but a way for people to live, beautifully, serenely, and securely. For a moment I glimpsed at what life could be like. Out of it. There are only 3 outs for alcoholics: out of their minds, insanity; out of this world, death; and out of drinking, recovery. I have heard this repeatedly at AA meetings, and it is true. Alcoholism is an incurable, progressive, and fatal disease. Anyone who would deny this statement doesn't know about alcoholism. It is with a great deal of sadness that I look back and remember the alcoholics who took the route out of this world. They died from accidents and suicide and organic damage. They died from pneumonia and heart attacks and sudden, dreadful hemorrhages. They died in confusion, bewilderment, and a sense of wasted lives. It is with even greater sorrow that I watch alcoholics drinking themselves out of their minds. One can see them at the mental hospitals, brain damaged and confused, with Jake leg and wrist droop, disoriented and finally incompetent and incontinent. It is with a sense of joy that I watch alcoholics follow the other route, out of drinking. Often I have sat through a meeting of Alcoholics Anonymous and wondered where those present would be if it were not for AA. Some die, surely, some in jail, some in mental hospitals, and some still in the gin mills trying to find the solution in a bottle. The problem is simple. Which one of the outs will alcoholics choose? The solution is equally simple. Let us get on with it. Look for it where you lost it. Very often we are faced with the spectacle of alcoholics who seem to be willing to do whatever is necessary to find sobriety, only to discover that they don't want to do it at home. They seek confidants from out of town with whom to discuss their problems and go to another city to be hospitalized. They then find many reasons why they can't go back to AA in their hometown. Very often these alcoholics are persons of some standing in the community, or they may be alcoholics who have had a
Sample complete. Ready to continue?